Hi everyone, great morning, happy Thursday. Today I am doing great. My morning has started off great. I started off with journaling, if you read the message in our Chai Chats group. And I just feel so revived, and it's quite interesting because sometimes when people see people happy, they wonder how falsified it is. They wonder how someone could be so happy, or how they can be like that person and maintain that. And it's so interesting because even at the lowest points of my life, when I had nothing, and when I say nothing, I mean when I didn't have the money to buy a pregnancy pillow at the time of my pregnancy, when I didn't have money to buy food, and I'm smiling right now, but I literally didn't have money to feed myself, and a friend at the time had to give me money so I can feed myself when I lived abroad. When I didn't have this car, when I first started Chai Together, I didn't have much of anything to my name materialistically. I didn't really have clothes. I didn't really have the tools that someone would think they need to start, video podcasting, think they need to start speaking and using their voice. I didn't have any of those things, like a mic, lighting, all that. No. And I recorded my, first video, Inspiration Behind Chai, which is about my mother, over 2 years ago in 2020, at the end of August. And I recorded that from my old iPhone 10, cracked screen. Like, it's so interesting in the power of doing, that knowing doing gap, that when you really want to do something, you're just going to do it. There is no, I'm thinking about it, or I'll do it later, or when it's a fire within you, you're going to go hard. And some people have it, some people don't. Sometimes life shifts, right? And those moments come where you do that. Anyway, my whole point is that when I didn't have these things, I was still super happy. And it was a happiness that was kind of glorified, as in a careless, reckless sense of happiness, that it's kind of like La La Land. It's kind of like operating from a place of carelessness, from trauma, trauma response, from a place of not knowing any better about life, from a place of being naive, from a place of thinking that everything is lollipops and candy corn, which is fucking disgusting, by the way. But it's so interesting that, I was operating from a place of that nothing bad's gonna happen to me. I'm invincible. When you're young, I was 26. And I didn't have the guidance or the knowledge to know that that's not how life works. Like, there's discipline to life. There's discipline and guidance. There's support. All these things that I wish I had growing up. I would pray to God. I would ask God why I don't have these things. Why there's so much hate in my life. Why is there so much pain and such unbearable pain? It doesn't make you want to live. Like, why am I here? I don't want to be here. I don't belong here. I just want to die. Like, those kind of things. And like, that's where I operated from up until 2020. And it's quite magical how emotional impact that Mr. Bob Proctor talks about. I'm going to take it back to 2020 when I studied TIR, when he talks about that 9/11, that something shifts, something negative that happens to you that shifts within you. And my negative, was my abortion story. And that was more than enough. That was a seed. I feel that was literally, like, this is a joke now, but like literally it was planted inside of me, and which gave me physical endurance, physical torture, physical shift. When something like that happens to your body, kind of like, I'm wondering if someone has cancer, if someone has any kind of disease, any kind of shock, losing your limbs, anything, it fucking wakes you up. That's just what it's gonna do. And anyone who hasn't experienced this and doesn't have the awareness and the consciousness, of the aftermath and of the overcoming, they still can't relate to this. Everyone's experience is individually their own. Anyway, we're going to go back to happiness. And this is all tying in together because each moment of my life, even in the painful, confusing, disastrous, momentum moments, I was happy. Like, there was grief, but I would go outside, my healing journey after my abortion, and I would see the raindrop on a leaf. And I have footage of this. I would touch it for the first time after 1 month or 2 months of going outside after my abortion. And I would touch it and I felt happiness in nature. I felt joy. I felt healing. I felt grounded. I felt one. I felt, I was doing yoga. I was listening to Sadhguru. I was helping me survive. And when someone says something's helping them survive, whether that's a smoking habit, whether that's a routine, whether that's, some form of discipline, something that they need at the time to really hold on to. And that need for me was in a fucking leaf. That need for me was in seeing trees, seeing beauty, seeing the world, knowing that, hey, I've traveled. Life is beautiful. I'm not going to give up on my life because of something bad happening to me. I just felt like I'm only going up from here. I'm winning at life. My mindset, this is without any coaching. This is God. This is without anyone helping me and holding my hand and telling me what the next steps are, that I'm going to be okay. And I didn't have none of that shit. I didn't have that. I had to be that for myself in life, for all my life, for me to even want to keep on living. I had to affirm to myself, someone out there needs me. Many of you may have heard me say this repeatedly, or a few of you, but I always told myself, if I were to get a tattoo, be on my arm saying someone out there needs me, so I could look down at it and know that I want to keep going, And on my chest, I always used to want a tattoo that said, love lives here. Love lives here. No one taught me these things. It was ingrained within me. That resiliency was ingrained within me. And I feel like that's the power behind my story, is that my knowing that I'm here for more. I'm here for a bigger purpose, a greater purpose. Yeah, my family sucks. Yeah, my life sucks right now, but I'm going to overcome this trauma. I was so determined subconsciously, in my willingness, in my desire, in my hunger, that I'm going to overcome. Fucking 12 years later, I was shaken out of it. God's divine intervention, whatever you want to call it. And my devotion to life since has been being my authentic self. And I feel like the best thing that I do for others and for myself is the reminder to be myself. I never knew how to be anybody else but me. Literally, I always operated from a place of freedom. And I really, truly feel like I'm placed on this planet so others can follow that role, follow that instillment, like within me. Like, I don't want to say follow the person, but the spirit that's within me, the guiding light, like to follow in being that way. And how can someone be that way? You have to let go of secrets. Like, this is really my secret. Like, you have to let go of secrets. Whatever you're harboring within that's eating you alive, that you keep getting depressed over, that you keep getting sick over, whether that's physically, mentally, whatever, that's holding you down, holding you back, you need to tell that to somebody. You need to tell that and confront that person. You need to let it go and feel liberated. I felt so damn liberated when I got those things off my chest, that were making me think that, hey, I'm going to take this secret to the ground. It was killing me. Like, literally, like, secrets kill you. Okay? Like, secrets kill you. Whether what your uncle did to you, what your auntie did to you, whoever did whatever to you as a child, whoever did whatever to you when you're older, whether you're in foster care, in whatever situation, whatever the fucking hell that you were feeling, you need to tell your truth. If you cannot tell your truth in this life, you are going to be living in such pain and experiencing such suffering that doesn't need to be and doesn't do your life justice. That is not your purpose here, to live in suffering and then die with that secret on your heart. No one's going to care. No one's going to give a fuck. No one's going to know that you had this shit harboring within you and it fucking ate you alive. Like, no one's going to really care because they won't fucking know. You need to speak up, and it doesn't mean you need to go and tell the whole world, but you need to heal that part of you. Whether for me, I'm someone who's able to have that courage, be brave. I've stepped into that power where I'm able to say anything, anywhere, to anybody most of the time, because I don't have that fear in me. And I do believe that my abortion story led me to not have that kind of fear where I'm ready to take on the world. And once you have that kind of mindset, there's nothing that can stop you. And today, like, I'm really going in, I'm really revived. And my Instagram handle was actually always Revival Love on Instagram when I was younger. And even though I was living in such pain and suffering, I had these positive thoughts, these affirmations that really, really pulled me through. And that's something that I'm grateful that was instilled within me, because I don't know how I would have made it if I didn't talk like that to myself. How we talk to ourselves, how we talk to others, how somebody talks to you is a projection of how they must be talking to themselves. You know, the mirroring concept. And I could go on and on today, but I just want to bring it back to the fact that it's really simple to be happy. You have to know how to be in the moment. If you can learn that through being free, not harboring anything, just being light in life, you know, letting go of the stress. You may be stressed one day, but to know how to let go of that stress, to breathe easy, to have shelter, to have food, to have comfort, to have some kind of support. If you know that this isn't your forever, if you know in your heart and spirit that this is temporary, and you know mentally that you can train your mind to be like, I'm going to overcome this. I'm going to overcome. And it's going to be a repeated process. It may feel tiring. Like nothing's getting better. Like I've been there. Like it's a blur. Trauma feels like a blur. It's neurologically a blur. Like I understand, but look to me as a prime example of, I'm 30 now. It's crazy. I haven't even said that enough. I turned 30 in January. And I still feel as robust as the 21-year-old self. I still feel as great, as adventurous, as thriving in my spirit, in my youth, as I did when I was 20, 21. Like, I pray to God and to maintain myself and my soul, that I always feel this youthful until the day I pass on from this body. Like, I am so happy in just myself. Forget the trauma. Forget what is going on in your environment. Forget the things that aren't coming through for you, the rejections, whether it's romantic, through schooling, through housing, whatever the hell you need in your life done right now. Forget those rejections. If you can forget those rejections and know that I'm happy in myself, not those outer things. I'm happy in myself, in who I am. I'm happy the love that I bring to this world, how I change people, how I made a difference in somebody's day by giving a tip, how I said thank you, how I said I'm so happy to meet you, how I said you were amazing. Telling somebody how amazing they are, telling somebody what you really feel about them, it gives their soul power. It gives their soul encouragement. You right now are the deciding factor between uplifting somebody while you uplift yourself, or downgrading yourself and being in a low vibration for others. That is your choice, my friend. It is your choice to know how you want to project your energy onto the world. If you're not good within, baby, you're not going to be good without. You know, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy. And all I can say is, make your existence count on this planet. Have the energy within you. Make smart decisions. When I say make smart decisions, that means make smart decisions. Like, if you're out here having unprotected sex and you have a baby, okay, people make that mistake a lot. I made that mistake. And this is just being transparent. You need to think about your decisions. You need to think about your actions. You need to emotionally be connected to your spiritual self to know, whoever you're engaging with, I'm not okay with that. Do they respect my boundaries? What is happening here? You need to be able to observe and assess the person first before you even get into that situation. You need to know if they're able to listen to your no. You need to know, you need to learn how to discern people. And that's something I do ongoing that I didn't know how to do before or have any boundaries. And to know that, hey, if you don't wrap it up, that's my consequence. And then it takes the whole 360 on your life. And yeah, that's how Try Together came about for me. But it doesn't necessarily mean you have to go through tragedies for something great to happen in your life. You know, you don't need to experience trauma. Yeah, trauma gives purpose. But I don't know the theory behind that. I don't believe that everyone who's been successful, because there's stories where they've experienced such big T trauma, severe traumas. It's not true. So, wow, I wish this was alive, but it's not. I am all this energy, power God's put within me from yesterday. You know, yesterday I had a really rough morning, really rough day, and I knew And I was telling my friend, and I was trying to have her understand that this is happening, for me, that this is beautiful, this is great. And it's like, you have to, whenever something bad, you feel like, why is that happening to me? Don't think that way. Think this is great. Because every time something bad happens for me, this video comes about. I end up doing something for my life. There's a shift. Bad things lead to shifts. Positive, negative, up to you, my friend. Okay? So it's 15 minutes. I'm going to leave it here. I love you all. This is Pretty Bidet from Chai Together, and I am feeling so filled up. My cup is so full that I'm so grateful. I am basically loud and giving you my energy, and I don't care, and don't care about what people think, because they're not here to do what you want to do. I love you. Bye. Have a great day.